I know this is kind of a controversial take, but I actually think this is a good game, man. I think it's actually a very good Call of Duty. COD is one of the most polarizing games to talk about in the landscape today, just because, I don't know, the last couple have been not very good. I haven't really played the last few, just because I haven't really cared for it in a long time, I saw this online somewhere, but someone said Call of Duty was like military Madden, where it kind of just releases every year and it's the same exact thing, which is very, very true to an extent, right? So that's just why I haven't been playing them. I haven't been buying them. I just never really cared for them. I think the last one I seriously gave a shot to was one of my friends bought me Modern Warfare 22, and I did not like it. And that was when I was officially just like, you know what? I'm kind of just over this series. I'm not really. There's nothing COD really does for me at this point, So it's just like, okay, I'm kind of just done with them here. But as a Game Pass subscriber, I didn't have to pay for the new one, so I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'll give it a shot. We'll see how it goes. I played all the way through the campaign. I've played a handful of multiplayer, and I've played a handful of zombies as well. So I have a pretty good grasp on my feelings for this game. And let me say, I don't think it disappoints at all, man. Especially when you realize that there's going to be multiple DLC seasons coming up, introducing more playable multiplayer maps, more playable zombies maps. I'm hoping for some even campaign expansion. I don't know if I like the way this campaign ended. I did love it all the way through, but I don't know if I really care for how open-ended it was left. We'll get into the campaign and everything a little bit later. This is just going to be my review of the three aspects of the game, the three pillars that hold the game up, being campaign, zombies, and multiplayer. I'll do a mini review on each of them as of a week ago when this game dropped. So yeah, Call of Duty Black Ops 6 came out October 25th, 2024. It's still pretty fresh, pretty brand new. But before we get into all that, I feel like I have to break down my Call of Duty resume for anybody listening, just to give whoever's listening a better view of how long I've been actually playing this game. So I feel like I have a pretty good opinion of the series as a whole, as a longtime player. So my first Call of Duty ever was Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. The original came out in 2007 at some point. I got it for my birthday like so long ago. Never had an interest in Call of Duty ever. That game heavily put me on to this franchise in general. I love the campaign back in the day, and it was funny because I actually played the campaign and just never ever touched the multiplayer. One of my friends back in the day got me to try the multiplayer with him or play it with him, and I just fell in love with it ever since, man. And it really just shaped my love for this arena style shooter. A huge reason I started playing X Defiant as well. Haven't played that in a minute just because it has like nothing to it. But yeah, COD really birthed my love for this arena shooter playstyle, man. It's just fun to hop in a game with your buddies and shoot up a bunch of other guys or shoot up some zombies and just have a blast, man. So yeah, COD 4 was the start for me. It made me fall in love with the series, so it'll always hold a special place in my heart for that reason. Next was Call of Duty World at War. Oh, and I'm just going to blow through these really quick because I don't want to spend too much time talking about them. Call of Duty World at War was a good one. Solid campaign. Loved it. Played the multiplayer a bunch. Played the zombies a bunch. MW2, classic MW2 2009. Everybody loved this game. This was one of the most iconic games ever. Played that a bunch. Black Ops 1. This is my personal favorite Call of Duty ever to release. I think everything is a 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 zombies, 10 out of 10 multiplayer. And then the campaign in this game is by far the best I've ever experienced. Personal favorite of mine. I love this goddamn game so much. MW3 2011, I played a bunch. Black Ops 2 is another good one. Everybody loved Black Ops 2 in 2012. Very solid, good game. Call of Duty Ghosts, I played a bunch. Advanced Warfare, I played a handful. Black Ops 3 was another one I put a lot of time into. And then this was kind of the time I slowed down from Call of Duty here. Infinite Warfare came out, and I played it a handful. I thought this one was a little overhated with a solid campaign. I love the campaign in this game. Call of Duty World War II was another one where it's like, okay, it's kind of average. Black Ops 4 released. That one was okay. It didn't have a campaign, so it was controversial for that. I loved Blackout. I did not touch the multiplayer or zombies all that much in this game just because I didn't really care for it, honestly. But Blackout was very good in my opinion. Blackout's better than Warzone. I know that's a really hot take and it's going to get a lot of people upset, but that's just what I think. I don't know. I don't like Warzone as much, but anyways, the new reboot Modern Warfare 2019 came out. I did not play this one at all. I played through the campaign and that was pretty much it. Cold War came out, and it kind of revitalized my love for Call of Duty. I love the campaign in this one. I thought the zombies was really, really good, but not as immersive as the rest of the series. And that's kind of one of the problems I have with new Black Ops 6 zombies as well. I'll get into it a little later. And then, yeah, that was pretty much the end of my COD career, man. I didn't even buy Vanguard. One of my friends bought me an MW22 because he wanted to play. I hated this game with all my life. And then Modern Warfare 3 never should have happened. This game was a glorified DLC. The new Modern Warfare 3, they released it as a nostalgia bait with all the old multiplayer maps from MW2. They fixed, quote unquote, fixed the movement system everybody was complaining about from MW22. And then they rebundled it as a $70 package, which I thought was super dishonest. I never bought this game. I heard the campaign was very bad as well. The zombies was just on the Warzone map. Who gives a shit? I never really cared for any of that stuff. I don't really like the open world zombies all that much, but to each their own. Which leaves us to Black Ops 6 in 2024, man. And this game kicks ass. It really does. I've always been a Treyarch glazer too. Infinity Ward kind of makes the Modern Warfares. Treyarch makes the Black Opses. So I've always liked the Black Ops more than Modern Warfares personally. Especially because they have the zombies most of the time, which is very, very awesome. So yeah, I've been playing COD a long time, man. I've been playing it a long time. You can really see where I stopped playing them. I never really could get into the modern CODs, man. I feel like the magic was worn off at that point. Also, my addiction to Overwatch probably has a very big part of it as well, because as soon as Overwatch came out, that is literally all I played multiplayer-wise forever. Actually, with the release of Black Ops 6, this is the first time it's gotten me off of Overwatch to play a different game, multiplayer-wise. And I've honestly been really enjoying it. But yeah, Overwatch has just consumed me, man. This is going to be another hot take, another controversial opinion here, but I don't think there's a game in the FPS genre that is more dynamic, more thought-provoking than Overwatch, dude. It is so dynamic. It's so unique. It's so fun. There's so much to pay attention to. It's chaotic. It's hectic. I love it, man. Absolutely love it. On the opposite end of the spectrum, that's kind of the beauty of Call of Duty too, right? It's so simple. Like, that's all you do. You load in, you shoot people. It's simple. It's brain dead. And that's what I like to play every once in a while too. Sometimes I don't want to play a super in-depth shooter, so COD is the perfect alternative to that, especially with the release of Nuketown. All that being said, it's probably way too long of an introduction, so here's what we're going to do, man. Here's how we're going to break down the game. I was going to do just campaign into multiplayer into zombies, just because that's traditional. That's what everybody does, or it's what seems like the standard formula is for one of these, but here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to enter the 3 into a wheel picker, spin the wheel, and then we'll do that just for funsies, right? Just for funsies. So yeah, let's get them typed in here. Let's click the wheel and we'll see what our topic is first, man. I'm excited for all of these, to be honest. And it looks like, okay, it looks like we're going to get some multiplayer action here. I'm really, really enjoying the multiplayer in this game, guys. It's not too different from the core Call of Duty experience. It does a couple things different, the movement system especially. But yeah, let's hop into it. If you've played literally any Call of Duty multiplayer before, you would know that this one's not that much different, but I feel like I have to just talk about the brand new movement system that they've introduced into this Call of Duty, because it's arguably the biggest change in Call of Duty history as far as movement goes. The base game, the base multiplayer, it's all been the same throughout the years. So in this year's Call of Duty, they introduced what they called Omni movement. And, when I first saw the trailers for this, it's one of those things where you look at it and you're like, okay, this is either going to make the game absolutely dog shit, or it's going to be pretty fun to play around with. And I was kind of scared for this game's future because, I'm a Black Ops enjoyer. I want to see these games do well, I don't want them to keep putting out the same trash every year. And this game kind of strays from that formula a little bit. So Omni movement, I played it with it in the beta, the first beta they introduced, and I was still on the fence about it, really. I played 2 games at the beta. I think I was still busy on Overwatch at that time. Sorry, I keep glazing Overwatch. I just love that goddamn game. But yeah, tried it in the beta, wasn't too impressed with it. And then when the game fully released, I then fully realized just how awesome and fluid it is. It's so fun to jump off of, just to dive off of high grounds, turn around mid-air, shoot people as you're coming down, jump around corners, take enemies by surprise. It's so fun. It looks cool. The sliding, I think needs a little nerf, to be honest. I think they should nerf the slide distance just slightly. It's kind of crazy seeing all these people slide all over the place, but at the same time, it's honestly dope as hell too. Like it's just fun to move around with, man. And I get like people that don't like it, right? I understand. Like I know people that aren't the biggest fan of the movement system in this game, and I can get it, you know, because Call of Duty was never all about movement, especially the older ones. And that's kind of one of the biggest problems of MW 2019 as well. A lot of people had issues with the slide canceling or whatever that bullshit movement is. I didn't really play it too much, so I don't know too much about it, but they kind of reintroduced it back in this game. And you break people's ankles and make them look all over the place. I hear it can also be a big problem with aim assist on controllers or whatever. I'm an M&K player, so that just doesn't really affect me. We just got to flick super hard and kind of try hard, but whatever. I think it's very fun. The reality is, though, is this game just isn't for those non-movement based COD players, you know, the people that just want to like hold angles and run around slowly with like no slide. You know, this game is just not for you, unfortunately. It's super fast paced, high mobility, and it's a fucking awesome time. I can't lie. I've been having so much fun, man. As well as Nuketown as well. You know, I'm kind of over Nuketown and small maps in general, like Shipment, Rust, all that stuff. I just don't, you know, I like to run around and like actually play the map. And on these smaller maps, you can't really do it. But on Nuketown, you know, you can just frag the fuck out. I've had like multiple 70 kill games already and stuff. It's not fun to put on all the time, but my friends like to run Nuketown games, so whatever. I just like playing with my boys, you know. I'm not going to go into super in-depth and talk about all the maps and talk about all the guns and whatnot. Here's what I will say. A lot of the guns feel very, very good. I'm a C9 enjoyer. I love the MP5. I've always loved the MP5, so that's my go-to gun. Just been grinding with that thing. I absolutely love it. The XM4 needs a nerf, dude. This thing is practically a sniper rifle with no recoil at all. You could just beam people across the map. So if you're hearing this, use the XM4 and you'll probably do very good. The gun is very, very solid. As fun as the base game is, I would say it does struggle in the map department though, guys. Like, and it's not just a meme. I'm not just agreeing with everybody online. I've played the game a fair amount. I'm about to hit 2nd prestige for Christ's sake, which is kind of insane, you know. That's kind of it. I'll bring up prestiges a little bit later. I'm so glad they went back to the classic system. I got to discuss the map problem here though. We just have no good maps in this game, and it really is a problem. There's a couple I enjoy. You know, Babylon's really good. I enjoy Vault a lot. I think Subsonic is one of the best maps they've ever made. I love Subsonic. That's such a badass small map, and that's kind of the problem. A lot of these maps are just kind of small. You know, they need to make a little bit of bigger maps. I would say like Red Card. Red Card is a horrible map. I hate Lowtown, the one with all the swimming in water. That map is just, I don't like the way it plays. I hate falling in the water. Makes a huge noise, and then you're just vulnerable because you can't shoot unless you're on top of the water, and you can easily die from underneath the water. I don't know. I just don't really care for Lowtown. I think Scud was my most hated on release, but I've kind of grown on it, you know. It's just not really an SMG map, unfortunately. If you try to use SMGs on Scud, you really, like, you're just going to get sniped across the map. It's a very good long sightline map, so SMGs are just not too good on it, unfortunately. But Scud's kind of grown on me a little bit, I won't lie. I think Payback is pretty decent. It's like the one that takes place in the Rook, like the campaign safe house. Again, it's just a little too small. I feel like that's just the problem on these maps, man. The sightlines are either too long or the map itself is just too small. You know, Rewind, the one in like the plaza with like the video store, very long sightlines, man, and it's just hard to get up into the action sometimes. Same with Protocol, man. Super long sightlines. It's just hard to get into the action if you're not using like an AR or a sniper or something, you know? And I think Vorkuta is like a decent map. Vorkuta is like mid. And I feel like that's just the summary of maps in this game. Like there's not any, like I see when I'm voting for the map that I'm like, oh, we have to play this map. Unless it's like Vault or Subsonic, you know? That's pretty much the only ones I really like want to go for. The rest of them are just kind of They're just kind of you know, like they're just kind of mid. I don't know, man. Like I don't get excited to see any of the maps really in this game, which is kind of unfortunate. I really hope they do add like Black Ops 1 maps to this game eventually. I know they added Nuketown, of course, but I want to see like Radiation and Grid, like Hanoi maybe, and even like Firing Range and Summit. Like where are these maps, man? They need to bring them back. I feel like the new Omni movement on these maps would be so fun to play around with too, man. Please, Treyarch, if you're listening, bring in Black Ops 1 maps. I'm telling you, every single Black Ops 1 map is so good. There is not a bad Black Ops 1 map. So just, dude, make I think for year 2 or whatever, they should just introduce the whole bundle, just like they did for MW3 multiplayer. Just bring them all back, man. Literally bring them all back. Nobody would be upset about that, I'm telling you. I have to give credit where it's due. They brought back the classic Prestige system. If you don't know, Prestige used to be seasonal for the longest time. It was combined with Warzone, Zombies, and multiplayer. It was all one rank. It was all seasonal, so it reset every single season, which was kind of stupid because it's like, yeah, I'm gonna grind the game out, and then it gets reset. So it's like, okay, it just felt so weird and pointless, you know? And then they went back to classic Prestige from the older games, which if you don't know what it is, I'll explain it really quickly. You basically rank up to a max rank. In this game, it's 55. In other games, it's like 70. And once you level up that max rank, you have the option to prestige yourself. And what it does is reset your rank, gives you a sweet new icon. And in this game, it gives you like special gun bundles and calling cards and even skins. Like the first skin for Weaver, like the zombie from like Nocturne Totem, that's so cool. It's such a cool throwback. They did such a good job with the rewards in this game. So it just feels good to be able to prestige, man. It made me feel like a teenager again, prestiging the first time. Like, holy shit, man. That wave of nostalgia hit me so hard. And that's just such a good feature, man. I really am so happy that they brought this back. It's just such a cool feature. And then I'm pretty sure once you get through all of the prestiges, you just get master prestige, like kind of like it was in Black Ops 3, where there's just like 1,000 ranks you have to go through. So there's still an end grind there that you get to push for. So yeah, we're going to move on from multiplayer. All in all, though, quick summary. Love the movement, love the gunplay. I really just enjoy how the gunplay feels. It feels so good to shoot people in this game. It feels so good to dive on people in this game. The Omni movement's sick. Maps need some work. Please introduce some of the older maps, or even like make new maps, but make them like bigger, you know? Like Vault is a good sized map with a lot of different angles to attack. They should lean more into that, or honestly just bring back old good COD maps as well. Like I'm not opposed to either, or do both, man. Just do both. So yeah, maps bad, gun good. That's basically my multiplayer conclusion. Time to spin the wheel again. Let's see what we get for the next subject here. I'm very excited to talk about either of these, to be honest. Looks like we're going to be diving into the campaign here. So I'm not going to get too involved with the campaign, honestly. I don't want to spoil the show out of it, but I will say it was very, very cool. And they took some interesting leaps in forms of missions, you know, like that one mission, the Cradle, where it's like a horror mission and you're fighting zombies, fighting off your own delusion. Like that's insane. That mission was so cool. And I'd love to see like a zombies campaign kind of like that. That would be so cool, man. And the grappling hook, like, dude, this mission really reminded me of like Doom Eternal, with like the way you pick up the grappling hook and the way it inspects it, the way the music is like kind of metalish as you're fighting them all off, as you're fighting off like the Abomination. And this mission in general, I'm sorry if you haven't played it yet and I'm spoiling the shit out of you, but yeah, that mission, like the Cradle mission, was so cool. And I love the whole concept of like MK Ultra and like the mind control shit. They don't get like too into that in this game, which is kind of disappointing. But I will say the campaign is very much worth playing through. I don't think it's going to top Black Ops 1 campaign for me, because I mean, guys, come on. Victor Reznov, I will have my revenge. Dude, like that, every part of that campaign is so iconic. JFK is in it. Castro's in it, it's just a solid experience, man. I recommend Black Ops 1 campaign to anybody. I will glaze it anytime, anywhere. I do not care. I will say there's a lot of fun missions in this game, actually. Like, besides the Cradle mission, that was really cool. I thought, the airport mission was really cool, where you end up driving the tank through the airport at the end and you shoot down the plane. That was fucking cool. The Vorkuta mission, where you have to like sabotage the radio relay and the missiles and all that stuff, and you could do different choices. That's another big thing I liked about this campaign. I really love how they give you like multiple choices to answer different problems within the campaign at your own will. You could take different routes, you can talk to different people, sabotage different things, or stealth it out. It was just a very cool change to the campaign formula that they don't normally ever do that. Normally the missions are always linear, which is very cool. I really liked exploring the safe house and coming back to the safe house after almost every mission, because there's multiple secrets you can get. Although I will say, I did figure out all the safe house puzzles and I did do them though. And the only reward you get at the end is just $1,000, which is like, I'll talk about the upgrades in a bit, but yeah, it's just used for upgrades. So I don't know, man. I wish they could have gave you like a cool skin or maybe a different calling card. I'm sure you get a calling card. Actually, I don't even remember if I looked at it or if I looked into it all that much, but yeah, the end prize for solving all the safe house puzzles was a little disappointing, I will say. Didn't much care for that, but I had fun solving the puzzles anyway. I'm a huge puzzle nerd, so that shit is right up my alley. The money system in the campaign was actually very awesome as well. I really enjoyed being able to upgrade myself just by finding money throughout the campaign because, you know, I'm one of those guys who kind of scours every corner. I played this campaign on veteran, by the way, and it wasn't very hard. It was very doable. I died a bunch on the zombie mission, I can't lie, just because I was kind of learning the pathing, and I found it a little difficult, but I ended up overcoming it. Especially with the upgrades that you can earn yourself throughout the campaign, you know? Yeah, sorry for getting sidetracked. Let me go back to what I was saying earlier. I like to scour every corner when I play these types of games just because I like to find the collectibles if they're there or whatnot. And since there's money in this game that you can find, I was just scouring because I know more money makes you more overpowered. So that's exactly what I went for. You can get all sorts of crazy upgrades like faster reload. You could like increase your total health. You could reduce the damage taken by explosives. You can reduce your flinch. Starting your regen earlier was a huge one that helped me out. You could upgrade your plating because, of course, oh my god, I'll talk about this a little later, but plating in this game is back from like Warzone, dude. The game, dude. They had upgrades where you could plate faster and have more plates. You could have like extended mags. You can carry extra mags. You could reload faster. You could shred armor faster. You could, you know, have better hip fire accuracy. You can get scavenger. You can increase your bullet penetration. And then honestly, for 3,000 each, you can get special weapon blueprints too. I bought one of them. I forgot which one it was. I think I got the Truth Serum one, the Ames 55. Or the Ames 85 one. But yeah, for 3,000, they were kind of expensive though, so I only bought one of them. You could buy specific blueprints for weapons, which was actually pretty sweet. So it was cool to, you know, play stuff in the campaign and get rewarded for it in multiplayer or zombies. So that was pretty cool. Sorry I keep saying cool, by the way. I'll try to come up with another fucking adjective. God damn. But yeah, all in all, I really just liked how you could use the money to kind of enhance whatever playstyle you wanted to go for. I was playing on veterans, so I wanted faster regen and more health and upgrades like that along those lines, so it really helped me out. But you can go for like a run and gun build or all sorts of other stuff, which was really innovative, honestly. Can't talk about the campaign without talking about the iconic characters that are in it. Of course, we have Frank Woods. Sergeant Frank Woods is back. You know, he's unfortunately, I will spoil something really quick. This game takes place after Black Ops 1 and Cold War and parts of Black Ops 2. So Frank Woods is confirmed to killed Alex Mason, just like in that one mission in Black Ops 2. So he's out of the picture. And also Woods is in a wheelchair for most of the game. So he kind of helps you out from the sidelines, which was kind of unfortunate. You know, I miss Woods being one of the mainstays, but I get it for in the sense of story progression. You know, it just makes sense. Adler's a certified badass. I think Adler, guys, when they introduced Adler in Cold War, he was one of the best like new franchise characters I've ever seen in any series ever. I think Adler is such a fucking awesome character. He looks like a badass. He puffs on his cigarettes like a badass. He's just an all-around like American hero. I love this dude. He's like the epitome of just raw military masculine energy. I love this fucking dude. There's Troy Marshall. He's kind of like the new leader guy. He just wants to keep his team safe. He's not really all that interesting. There's the woman Sev. She plays like multiple disguises in the campaign and helps you infiltrate multiple enemy infrastructures, which is, she's all right. You know, another one would kind of lacks personality a little bit, but she's kind of all right. I thought Jane Harrow, like the CIA lady that ends up betraying you and she has that crazy mirror mission later in the campaign, was pretty wild as well. She was a pretty good character, I can't lie. I actually really enjoyed her. And then I really can't tell about this, guys. Let me know in the comments below what you think, but what do you guys think about like the protagonist that doesn't talk? It's Case in this game, which I don't know if you guys, every time they said Case, I would just think of Queso. I have no idea why. I just thought it was funny. So, yeah, every time they said Case, I'm like, oh my God, it's Queso. But yeah, like the whole silent protagonist thing, they did this in Black Ops Cold War as well with Bell. Bell was another protagonist that didn't really talk. You have certain dialogue options, like kind of like in Fallout, where you can respond to what you're being told. But I don't know, man. All in all, I kind of just feel like it takes away from like the immersion. I really loved playing as like Alex Mason in the first game and playing as like David Mason in the second game, and your character actually talks and has voice lines and has a personality. I don't know, man. It kind of just feels like a cheap cop-out to record voice lines and get a voice actor, you know? I don't know, man. I feel like it kind of kills the immersion, although I feel like it's supposed to enhance it in some weird way. Like that's what they're going for. Like it's supposed to be like, oh, you're in the actual game. You're You're making the choices. You're responding to people that are talking to you. But on the contrary, I feel like it's just kills the game in a weird way. You know, I would have loved to have a voice actor for Case and have him be like a actual full-fledged out character. Plus, I feel like you don't ever see his face or anything in the campaign. As far as I can remember. Maybe I'm retarded. That's all I'm going to yap about for the campaign. I really enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed it so much. It kept stringing you along because it just kept getting more interesting, man. And I really enjoyed that. I'm pretty sure I beat the campaign by the 3rd day. So, you know, and it was actually pretty long. You know, the missions were a lot longer than I remember them being in previous Call of Duties, which I was all for, man. I would just do like a mission a day or a couple missions a day. And it got to a point where I couldn't put it down, man. I just wanted to keep going. I wanted to keep figuring out what the story was. I was getting really invested. So they must have did something right there, man, because I couldn't put it down. So props to Treyarch here, or whoever worked on the campaign. All right, guys, now that we're done with the campaign here, let's spin the wheel one more time just to see what we're going to get. And it's looking like we're going to land on zombies. Okay, I didn't see this coming, so this is very surprising news to me. Aren't I just the funniest person you know? But yeah, seriously. Anyways, zombies in this game kicks ass, man. It kicks ass, but it does have its fair share of problems, which I'm going to highlight. Let's talk about both the maps first, right? Let's start with Liberty Falls. Liberty Falls was a map that the community was actually dumping on before it came out, but it ended up being the more fun map. This is the most chill map. This is kind of like the Kino der Toten to 5 in Black Ops 1. It's the easier experience. You might not enjoy it if you're a hardcore player. You might like Terminus more, but Liberty Falls, it's just like, this is the camo grind map. This is the weapon level up map. It's just an easy, chill experience. I actually have a round 45 save right now that I'm ready to go back to, which is another thing. I'm going to talk about that really quick. Having a saved game in solo is such a big deal. I know it might not seem like it, but I'm the type of zombies guy where I just don't want to sit here and grind the mode for hours and hours and hours and hours on end. So for someone like me that wants to just get into other stuff and go play Overwatch and other games, it's perfect because, like, yeah, I would love to go for high rounds. However, I just don't have the time to. But this feature lets you do that. So yeah, I have a round 45 save stored in my game right now that I'm gonna go back to. So yeah, it's just a fucking cool feature, man. It's super cool. Obviously for solo, it doesn't work in multiplayer. It comes at the cost of having to be an always online server as well, which is kind of unfortunate, but you know, you take the good with the bad here sometimes. Sorry, let me get back to Liberty Falls. I like it because opening up the Pack-a-Punch is pretty easy. You know, in some earlier zombies maps, I used to enjoy this, but you know, sometimes you have to like open up the entire map and do all these crazy things just to get the Pack-a-Punch open. So it's nice to just see it return as you just buy a door and you get to it, you know. Really just plays into that easy survival aspect that I love. The special dog round on this map has been replaced by vermin, which they're okay. I genuinely think the vermin is like the least dangerous zombies enemy ever. Like, this thing is so easy to kill. It's not tanky at all. It dies like a little bitch. And I don't know. These rounds are cool and all, but I kind of just miss dog rounds, man. I really just miss the dog rounds. I hope they bring the Hellhounds back at some point because, you know, they're just so iconic. We see Manglers and Abominations return in this map, which we've seen these enemies before, and they're kind of spammed a lot in this map, especially Manglers. Say what you want about them. I don't mind them as much. The Manglers are pretty easy to take out as long as you have Blast Furnace and a weapon that gets rid of armor pretty easily. The Abominations are a little harder to take care of. They could open their mouths a little more maybe and have the spot be a little bigger to shoot, but all in all, I mean, it's there as a challenge. It's there to throw you off, so I just think they spam them a little too much, and I wouldn't mind it if we didn't really see these things before, but again, they're reused enemies, which kind of sucks. I wish they would have gotten a little more creative here, just like they did with the new jet gun, guys. Can we talk about the new jet gun? This thing got the biggest glow up ever. If anybody remembers from Black Ops 2, you had to spend so long building this thing on transit and knifing those goddamn denizens off your head while doing it. You had to build 4 parts around the map, or you had to gather 4 parts around the map, sorry, and then build them. And the worst part is that it would break, right? Like, you'd use it for a little bit, it would break. It was pretty good, but you had to manage its resource like so well, and it was really annoying. It was really tedious, but now it can't break, and it has infinite ammo essentially and infinite damage once you Pack-a-Punch it 3 times. The normal left click is you just suck in all the zombies, as well as power-ups and scrap and armor plates, which is very, very cool. I love that feature. And then the right click is like a giant AoE explosion that's more used for like doing heavy damage to the boss zombies, which is so cool, man. I love the jet gun. They fucking cooked with this gun in this game. This wonder weapon's sick, as long as the beam smasher, which we'll get into in Terminus in a little bit here. So yeah, I love the jet gun, man. Overall, Liberty Falls is such a solid map too. You know, the Rampage Inducer comes back from Cold War, so you can speed up the zombies if you want to. It's good for like speed running and whatnot. I will say the rarity system isn't really all that great though. The rarity system, you know, I feel like it just doesn't have as much of an impact in this game. There's the bank vault, which you can use to open up and get loot keys to get special weapons and even ray guns and perks and more salvage and scrap and like mangler injections and different score streaks, which is pretty cool. Yeah, overall, Liberty Falls, W map. I think I do enjoy this one more than Terminus just because it's a less frustrating experience, if that makes sense. It's a less intense experience, kind of. So let's get into Terminus, you know, and there's a lot of things I do like about this map, and there's a lot of things I don't like about this map. I've done the Easter egg on Liberty Falls, which was pretty easy, and I've tried the Easter egg twice on this map, once with a group, once solo, died both times to the Kraken. That boss fight is intense, but it's actually pretty fun. I like that. That's not a bad point about this map. I actually like that. What I don't like is, you know, along with the plating, which is on Liberty Falls as well, it's just like, you hear about it online, but it's like the Warzone-ification of the game, which is just like, leave them as separate entities. I think armor is so broken in this game. It's so overpowered, and constantly plating just gets a little annoying. And it's just like, I'm not playing Warzone. I don't want to plate that often, you know? And same with the boat, right? The boat feels like it was ripped directly from Warzone, which is just another thing where it's like, guys, I'm playing zombies. I'm not playing fucking Battle Royale now. Same with the UI, but I'm sorry. I'm talking about Terminus right now. I'll talk about all that in a minute. This is another map where getting the Pack-a-Punch open is pretty easy, although it's not as easy as just buying a door like on Liberty Falls. On this one, you have to turn on 3 separate generators to power the facility, kind of like in Firebase Z, and the zombies will try to take it out as well. So it's basically just that. Then you have to jump in the water to raise the platform, and that's pretty much it. It's not that hard. It just feels like it costs a bunch of money to open up, which is understandable. That's kind of the whole gimmick of this game, is just making sure you have enough money to do everything. Another problem this map has is returning enemies. You know, we see the Mangler again. We see the parasites again from, Shadows of Evil. The little bug things, they're kind of annoying. You know, they die really easily, just like the vermin. They're just slightly annoying. It's just annoying to have more stuff in the game that shoots at you. You know what I mean? The Mangler projectile shoots at you. The parasite shoots at you. You know, I actually find it kind of interesting that there's Janus security guys on this map that will shoot at you as well, that if the zombies don't kill them first. So it just adds to that immersion a little bit, which I do very much enjoy. As well as the old, there is some new in this game as well with the Amalgam. The Amalgam is a new enemy, which I swear to God, it doesn't have a critical hit point like the Mangler and the Abominations do. Let me know if there is one, guys. I try to shoot it in the face. I feel like it kind of works sometimes, but I have no idea, man. This thing feels tanky as shit. It's really hard to kill, but you know, it's another challenge. It's got the Roadhog hook too. It'll hook you in and then fuck you up. It's kind of annoying. It does it a little often, but you just can't get too close to this thing, you know. We got to talk about the Beam Smasher though. The Beam Smasher, the newest wonder weapon introduced into COD Zombies. You left click and it's just a giant beam that comes out and just shreds enemies in front of you. It can even do critical damage as well, but the real beauty of this gun is the right click. It holds out this little radar thing and it'll slow all the zombies and make them take more damage. So it's like a Discord orb from Zenyatta. If you're familiar with Overwatch, you can Discord all the enemies, slow them down, and then they just take so much more damage, which is so cool. That's I love that concept so much, and I'm so happy to see it come to zombies. That is brilliant. So yeah, I'm actually not going to get too in depth about Terminus. I just want to talk about a few things in the zombies system as a whole here. And I gotta start off with the UI, man. I do not like the HUD in this game. I think the UI sucks. I know you can kind of customize it. I just hate the fact that there's a mini-map and then there's the portraits of the people that pop up and talk to you. I think damage numbers and health bars are the stupidest thing ever. Like, I'm not playing Apex Legends, bro. I don't need damage numbers on my fucking screen. It just adds so much unnecessary clutter, and it really kills the immersion that Zombies once was, man. Like, think of like Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2. It gave you a special, like, little HUD indicator. Sometimes it was a light bulb, sometimes it was like a gear, and it was like bloody, and you just knew it was like, okay, It's recognizable. It's a zombies HUD. It's minimal. There's no mini map. You just have to explore the map and figure it out yourself. And it really feels like they just killed that actual part of the game so hard. Like there's just no more immersion left. There's constantly people talking to you. You walk up to a radio and then it says press F to play the radio, which is like, I just miss the old days when you had to find that stuff out for yourself, But yeah, I just hate the UI in this game, man. And it feels like you can't even play with the health bars off at least because, you just don't know when the shit's going to die. I'm going to reference Doom Eternal here, guys. In Doom Eternal, they do a thing called destructible demons, right? So you know how damaged the demons you're killing are based on chunks of them that are missing and stuff, which is very, very cool and awesome. You don't really get that in this game, at least with the amalgams. The manglers kind of, and the abominations kind of, because you can see when their heads are kind of exploded and gone, or the helmet on the mangler is gone. But with the amalgams, you don't really get that. So you kind of just have to keep shooting them and they just keep tanking and tanking and tanking. So I like to play with health bars off. I know it's kind of a disadvantage, but I wish they would do something to make it so it just doesn't feel like you have to run it. You know what I mean? I just don't like that. I really, really don't like that about modern zombies at all. I already mentioned it, but I hate armor as well. Fuck armor. I don't want to be plating up. I'm not playing Warzone. Get this shit out of the game. This is such a dumb feature. It needs to go away. I think lethals suck in this game. It sucks because in Cold War, they were so overpowered. So I get that they didn't want to be like that as well. But I feel like a lot of them just feel a little lackluster in this game, They make a bunch of crawlers and they'll kill one zombie, as well as the field upgrades as well, And I got to mention the RCXD. The RCXD in zombies sucks ass unless you have insta-kill, which if you're doing the SAM trials and you get the RCXD one and you don't have an insta-kill, it just feels really bad because you're never going to kill a zombie with this thing. Yeah, back to the field upgrades. A lot of them just feel so bad besides Ether Shroud. Ether Shroud is amazing. It got to glow up in this game. It's really, really good. However, if you keep prestiging, then you don't really have access to it. I tried leveling up Dark Flare, and I got to the point where I got the Resurrect thing, so I'm willing to try that out next game to see how it is. I think Healing Aura is okay. It's not as strong as it once was in Cold War. However, I'm hoping they give it a buff. I think the Energy Mine is actually pretty solid. The Energy Mine alone is pretty good. That's a very, very good ability. I haven't played with Frenzy Guard too much, but I hear it's pretty good as well. Yeah, the field upgrades just feel like they take way too long to come online, man, even with Arsenal Accelerator. And then once you use it and you don't have a full power, it just feels like you're at such a detriment, especially if it's like a Healing Aura or something like that you really, really could use. So I'm hoping they buff these eventually. And of course, add more. I would love to see Ring of Fire from Cold War come in this game to promote camping and just so you could shred bosses super fast. I feel like that would be very interesting. Although I feel like it kind of maybe breaks some of the boss fights maybe. I don't know though. I very much like the way they do Gobblegums in this game, how you have like a stored inventory and you don't have to drain them if you don't want to. I really like the way they do Gobblegums. I think they roll them out a little slowly. Maybe they could speed it up just a little bit. I know it's double XP, but I feel like once it goes back from double XP, it's going to be pretty miserable to try to keep getting Gobblegums. But I do like them for the most part. I don't want to yap too much longer about this game. It's still fresh. It's still new. They could change a lot of stuff, guys. So I'm just looking forward to the new DLC seasons, man. But as far as launch goes, Zombies kicks ass, man. I'm having a blast on it. I'm having fun with friends on it. I'm having fun on solo. So we'll see how it goes. I'm just looking forward to more maps. I really hope they bring old maps back too. Like, please, Treyarch, man. Bring back like Der Riese or Nocturne Toten or like one of the classic maps too to just play alongside these. That would kick so much ass if they did that. I would get on my knees for somebody at Treyarch that did that, dude. So, let me know, man. Let me know. If you're familiar with Jerry App, we're going to get into Rechad of the Week right now, where we highlight either a Chad or a retard comment or review just to kind of combat and talk about here. So here we go. We're going to go into the Steam reviews here shortly and try to pick something out. Here we have our not recommended review from Altair017, who says, another year, another DLC. The game does not have its own launcher. After purchasing, you will have to download the main Call of Duty. I tried to find Black Ops 6 in my library, but it turned out to be a DLC. It's a shame that I have to lower the rating for this game because I thought it would be different. This is just the biggest cope I have ever read in my entire life recently. This game is like, yes, I know MW3, like Modern Warfare 3 absolutely was a DLC and it should have not been a full game at all. Black Ops 6, however, it's its own game. it has a whole fledged out kick-ass campaign, has a whole fledged out zombies experience, kind of, I'll say that. They're going to add on to it though. And then the multiplayer is unique and different as well. So saying this Call of Duty is a DLC is just very dishonest in its cope, I think. I think you're just trying to shit on COD at that point for no reason. He says the game doesn't have its own launcher, which sure, yes, Call of Duty HQ, I hate it too. I think COD HQ has its own problems, but I think they're really just trying to integrate everything into one game at the end of the day. So I kind of get what they're trying to do, but honestly, it'd be better if it was all just one title instead of all these DLC updates. So I kind of get where he's coming from here. I tried to find Black Ops 6 in my library. Like, what? Bro, just install it and get on Call of Duty and it's right there. Like, I don't get it. Is it really that hard to navigate, guys? Like, I know their whole Netflix UI and their Hulu UI is like kind of dog shit and somehow hard to navigate sometimes, but I mean, I was able to find it. It literally just says Black Ops 6 in the menu. So I just had to highlight this guy's retard of the week because you cannot claim this game as a DLC. I won't have it, man. And I'm not a corporation defender. I think Activision is horrible and, they're pretty greedy. But it just kind of feels like he's straight up lying about the game, though. Like, it's not just a DLC, man. There's more to it. And there's going to be more to it with DLC seasons in the future, too. So I'm personally very excited for the future of this game. I just had to highlight this guy as retard of the week. Plus, we haven't done a retard in a while. It's been a couple chads over the past week, so I had to find one. Also, retard of the week goes out to anybody who bought this game on Steam. Like, this game is on Game Pass, guys. Even if you're not a Game Pass subscriber, subscribe for like $12 or $14 or whatever it is, guys. We'll play it for a month and then cancel it. Like $14 compared to $80 after tax or whatever is so much better. So yeah, anybody who has bought this game and not played it on Game Pass, retard of the week. Sorry, PlayStation players, pick a better console, I guess, next time. Whew, that was kind of a long video, huh, guys? Longer than the usual ones I've been putting out anyways. But yeah, we're going to get into the closing segment here, which is just, what is Jerry playing? What have I been playing, guys? What have I been playing? This. Literally just this, man. I've been playing Call of Duty since launch religiously every day. I come home from work and I just want to play this game. I just want to level my guns and zombies. I just want to shoot people in multiplayer with my friends. I played through the campaign, so I probably won't touch that in a long time. I'll play it probably like 20 years in the future. But yeah, I'm really enjoying zombies and I'm really enjoying multiplayer, man. I'm just hoping they release some good maps for both modes, really, and some classic maps for both modes, really. And that's basically just my one wish for the game. I know they're going to add, I hope they add, more gobble gums, more field upgrades, possibly more augments to make them better. And I don't know. I'm just looking forward to what they're going to add to the game, man. So for launch, as far as launch goes, I think it's been a pretty successful launch, man. So I can't complain too much, man. I've been having fun, and that's what video games are for, guys. Like, I'm having fun on the game. If you're not having fun on the video game, then just don't play it, man. It's just that simple. Play something you want to play. Don't just sit here and complain. Nobody wants to hear a complain-a-thon, Criticism is a good thing. So hopefully, they listen to the bad criticism and want to make changes to make their game better. It's just good, mindless complaining doesn't do anything. So that's what I've been playing. I've also been playing a little bit of Overwatch, doing my weeklies and my dailies and the event challenges, just trying to finish the battle pass out because I like to get all the prestige tiers as well. And I've been playing a little bit of Mechabellum here and there too. Mechabellum is the perfect game to play when you just want to chill out and still think. Perfect auto battle or strategy game. I really, really love it. And I think that is going to do it for the podcast episode, guys. Thank you. This is Mainline episode number 26, Call of Duty Black Ops 6. So I love this game, man. I think it's a very good return to form for the franchise, man. They really cooked with this game. I genuinely have no idea what next week's episode is going to be. I'm not really playing anything for it now, so we'll see if I come up with something random to play. But yeah, that's going to do it, guys. I really appreciate everyone listening, guys. Go exercise, you fat piece of shit. Go drink some water. And that's going to be it. Goodbye. Peace. Goodbye. Peace. Goodbye. Peace.